Hello and welcome back. It's so nice to see all of you again. I hope you're enjoying our little get togethers. Today, we are going to make a cookie called Pizzelle. And you use the little Pizzelle iron. They look like a little waffle. You've seen them 100 times. Really super easy recipe. And we start out with 3 eggs. And to the 3 eggs, I'm going to beat them and then add my sugar, which I have measured out. It's 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 3 eggs. So we're going to start doing that. So bear with me. You beat the eggs first, just lightly. Then you add your sugar. And this is when you beat them until it gets to be like a thick kind of lemony color. Super easy. Super easy. You see that? Thickening up. Looks lemony. It doesn't take long at all. Okay, now to this. We are going to, let me see, using a prisoner, blah, blah, blah. Okay. On low speed. All right, now we're going to add the melted, you use a 1/2 cup of unsalted melted butter. And what I want you to remember, this flavoring can either be anise, but my family doesn't like that licorice taste, so we use vanilla. Always remember to get pure 100% vanilla. The alcohol level is what ruins it when you bake. So you want to get the pure extract. It costs a little bit more, but I'm telling you, the flavor is amazing. So it's a tablespoon, and it goes. And then we're going to add our melted butter. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to mix this. That was 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and we added a 1/2 cup of melted butter and 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla. Now we're going to add the flour. It's 1 3/4 cup with 2 teaspoons of baking powder, not soda, powder. We're going to add this, and then we're just going to slowly mix. I'm going to finish this off with a spoon because you really don't want to overmix this. And I'll show you the consistency. In the meantime, this has been heating up, so it's good to go. Now this is the consistency that it should be, thick. And you'll drop this. I have a small ice cream scoop like this, tiny. You open this, and this happens to have two sides to it. So you're going to put this in right in the middle of your mold, and you're going to close the lid, and you're going to time it. Just keep an eye on it. I don't go by what they tell you in the instruction booklet. I just do it by sight. And depending on how you like these, some people like them a little darker, a little crisper. Some people like them lighter. Just keep checking. Not quite there. This is a recipe. You can freeze these. You can just, I'm going to show you a few things you can do with this particular cookie. It makes it a lovely, elegant dessert. And I'll tell you what's really so great. I don't know how you are with coffee, but I come from a long line of coffee drinkers. And my aunt started me on coffee when I was about 10 years old, but it was mostly milk and sugar, but it still had a little bit of caffeine. I have, my father's side of the family is Swedish. And what they did was they would pour a cup of coffee. This was before mugs, okay? So you had coffee and a saucer, and that's how it was served to you. So they would pour a cup of coffee, and then they would pour some into the saucer, and they would drink it from the saucer. And it's a very Scandinavian trait. It's something I don't do, but they did it. I watched them do it for years. Okay, here we are. I'm going to take these out, and they're going to cool. We're just going to go on to the next one. Everyone, you know, I'm from Minnesota. But everyone always had coffee pots going. It was never, you walked in anyone's home, you went to the kitchen, there was always a pot of coffee on the stove. Everybody drinks coffee. And we come from a long line of dippers. You know what dippers are? You pour a cup of coffee, you either have a cookie or a slice of toast or something, and you dip it into your coffee. And that's how you'd eat the goodies. These are great for dipping, believe me when I tell you. My aunt would always say, these are not perfect, but this is what you do when they're totally cool. You just go around and break off this little rough edge. Don't throw them away. Save the crumbs. They're great on top of ice cream. They're fabulous. So again, this is a cookie that's very versatile. And you can see, these are a little darker. These are a little lighter. It just depends. They're both completely cooked. Believe me, both of them. Okay, now I have all the batches done. I have enough dough left over for one last cookie. Waste not, want not. So we're going to put this on and close this. We'll wait for that to finish. Now I wanted to show you something. These are homemade. They're not perfect. They're not supposed to be perfect. And remember I was telling you how you, when they come out of the press, do this. If they're not totally, if they overran, just break this off. It comes off easily. Save the crumbs. Look. All right, now I've got one last cookie in the press. So we're just going to keep an eye on it. But I'm going to show you what you can do for a beautiful dessert. Just so lovely. But you know, you can use fresh fruit. We're using vanilla ice cream with a little chocolate sauce. Um, it's wonderful, but you can cut up strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, whatever, and put on top with a little whipped cream. It makes really a lovely, lovely dessert and so easy. You can do this. All right, we're ready to take this out. And here we go. And you can see it had overrun, but don't worry about that. Now, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Just get a pretty plate, get a little white plate, and we're going to put, we'll take one, put it in the middle. Here's our lovely vanilla ice cream. And we have chocolate syrup. So we're going to do this. And this is what we're going to do for one of these lovely little desserts. Open up your vanilla ice cream. You can use any kind of ice cream. You don't have to use vanilla. And we're going to put a scoop on top. Here's our lovely, lovely chocolate syrup. Does that not look fabulous? Look at that. You can use whipped cream if you'd like. I'll leave it up to you. You can add more. You know what? Let's do a splash more. We'll go this way. There. How pretty is that? And you can, again, you can use fresh berries, whatever fruits in season. Cut it up, put it on top. There we are. And we are happy to be eating our pizzelles. Can have them. Now what I do with these, I have to tell you, dust them with powdered sugar if you'd like. And again, you can freeze them. They keep forever.